Practicality over everything. What is practicality? Doing a specific thing for a specific reason, not trying to be fancy, doing it on a budget, on a shoestring budget, doing things with as little resources and as little effort as possible so that you can get the outcome that you want to happen. So how does that look like? It looks like using what you have at your fingertips to make things work. If you need to fix something, if you need to do something, if you need to create a notebook or a calendar or a planner, if you want to make a journal, if you want to fix some clothing that you have, like practicality means doing things for the right reasons, for the right time, for the right outcomes, without any expectations of perfection, and just making it work. If you've ever traveled outside of the United States, you start to understand this a little bit better, because inside the United States everything's fancy, everybody's got certain ways to do things, and everything's kind of laid out in a certain way, and there's certain expectations. Once you get outside of the country and go somewhere else, like Europe, South America, wherever, you start to understand that people, normal people, just like normal people in the US, but normal people in other countries who are on whatever budget they're on, for whatever reasons they're on their budget, but generally it's like everybody's on the same level playing field, right? And everybody's doing their thing, and everybody's just trying to survive and trying to make things work. And they figure out how to do that on their own, all by themselves, without any help from anybody else, generally speaking. But they're not extra frivolous, and when they are, there's reasons for it, like, go. There's reasons for their frivolity, if that's even a word. I think it is a word. So being able to make things work, wearing things that are, maybe not the most popular fashion trends, or maybe not the most up to date, but the whole purpose is just like wear some clothes. And I'm broadcasting now from a small little island in the Mediterranean, a decent sized island in the Mediterranean, and things here are much different, much different. And I've found that the practicality comes way more into play, because I don't have all these special extra things here. Like, there's not a bunch of extra shit here. It's just basic. I mean, of course, we've got the fancy shit too, right? But nobody buys that shit. Like, people that buy that shit are buying it to show off. They're not buying it because they need it or because it works better than the other thing. Like, people spend more money on a coffee machine than they do a television here. Why is that? Because coffee is important. People like coffee, and they like coffee the Italian way. So they either get a little pot, and you put water and coffee in, and you put it on the stove, and you cook coffee, or they get the next step up from that, which is an espresso machine of some sort, and they range anywhere from, a couple €100 to thousands of euros. But with cars, for example, people just drive regular cars here. Like, okay, I saw a Ferrari today. Yay, wonderful, nice. But it's one out of all the cars. Like, nobody drives a Ferrari here. Nobody drives nice, expensive cars. I mean, there's some BMWs and Mercedes and shit like that. But the issue is no matter what you do, how careful you are driving, you're going to get bumps and scratches all over your car. There's no point in trying to flex and have a really nice, fancy car and keep it nice and clean, because it's not going to stay that way. Not to mention the fact that when the volcano erupts, like, there's black ash everywhere. I'm trying to keep up with that. park somewhere, for 5 minutes, you're bound to get a scratch or a dent. Like, it's just normal. It's just normal. And being an American coming here, the first time I was here a few years ago, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you even have a nice car? Because it's gonna get screwed up. Even if you park it in a garage all the time, like, you're gonna get bumps and scratches and dents, and shit's gonna happen. So now that I've been here for a longer duration of time, I understand like how that works. The same with traffic. Like, traffic just moves the way it moves. There's people that pull in front of you, and it's not like the States where people get all pissed off and screaming and yelling and road rage about the shit. Like, in the last 2 minutes that I've been talking, there's been 3 people walked in front of the car, a lady and a dog walked in front of the car. They just walk out in the street. Cars pull out from parking spots from left and right. Cars pass you from left and right. Scooters are on your left side, they're on your right side, they're going faster than you. Usually it's just controlled chaos, really, more than anything else. Like, there goes a scooter turning in front of a car, and I'm trying to turn in front of some cars. Now I gotta pull in front of somebody. But it's just the way of life, and it's a very practical way to live compared to living in the States. So basically, the underpinning thing is be practical as much as possible. Like, yes, we all want fancy, nice stuff. Yes, we all want to be comfortable as fuck. But at the end of the day, it's extra. You don't need it. Like, just be practical about your life. And you will cut out a lot of... Being practical means you're going to cut out a lot of extra decisions that you don't need to make, because they're so trivial, they're so non-important, and it opens up a lot of time and space for you to be more comfortable. You would think it's less comfortable, but it's actually more comfortable with your life. And what I mean by that is you don't have to spend your time trying to figure out which brand of cereal you want to, like, just get the food that you need, get the clothes that you need, get the stuff that you need, and the rest of the stuff, get rid of it and just be practical and be almost nomadic about it. Like, again, I'm recording on my phone. The light here sucks. Hopefully the audio is good. But I don't care about that. Like, it's not the point. The point is me telling you about practicality. And it has nothing to do with good lighting and good audio and sitting in the studio and having, all these amazing things line up to make it a really good production. Like, it's not about a good production. It's about being practical. Practicality means doing it when I can, on my phone, on the go, usually in my car, because that's where I think, and I can talk and get my ideas out of my brain quickly. It's more fluid than I can sitting down somewhere. So just be practical. Be practical with your life. Don't try to overcomplicate things. The more complication you introduce into your life's already complicated enough. But the more complications you introduce into your life, the more struggle and pain and difficulty you're going to have to deal with, because you're making that non-practical stuff important to you. And it's really not. Like, if you had to throw everything away tomorrow, what would life look like? Would you be able to survive? And the answer is yes. Of course you would. You're a human. We've been surviving for 10,000 years through all kinds of crazy crap. But we've been doing it without a lot of extra fanciness and extra shit that we don't need. So I'm generally a very technological, forward-thinking person, and I like my tech, and I like my Wi-Fi, and I like all those things, but not providing me either really, really high amounts of joy and happiness, or it's offsetting my income in some way by providing me some kind of monetary income based on the thing that I'm using. Like, I really don't want it. I don't need it. So let that be your kind of bar of excellence. Like, if it's not providing you extreme amounts of happiness and pleasure on a daily basis and not just for 1 week, and it's not providing you some kind of monetary like incentive to use it, like it's not paying you to use it, then don't use it. That football team that you're rooting for, they don't give a fuck that you're wearing their jersey. They're making money off of you. You're free advertising for them. That's it. That's the bottom line. So be practical. Don't be dumb. Use your money and your time wisely. And see how that improves your life. And that's all.